Right, we got another one from Banggood, and this one reminds me of an old industrial saying, which I think is quite relevant nowadays, and that is the Americans tend to innovate, the Europeans regulate. Well, we're certainly seeing that in the UK at the moment, and the Chinese imitate. And looking at this, I can only imagine it must be giving DJI a few headaches. Anyway, this is the M5 drone. It's got a unique selling point, if you like, a unique feature in that it's got a pop-up screen which receives its Wi-Fi signal directly from the drone. And here is functions in the box. So you've got a motion operated camera, just up and down, single axis gimbal there, 3 speeds. It takes photo and a video. It's got optical flow, large capacity battery, we'll get into that a bit later, brushless motors. If you want to use an app with a few more features, you can, but you don't need to use your mobile phone to download an app for this particular drone. And if you want to go 360-degree rolling or flips, then you can do that if you wish. Okay, let's take a look and see what we get in the box. But we start off with the app, which is the KY UFO app. If you want to choose to use this with your mobile phone, it will have a few more features than the screen controller. It's your choice if you want to use it, but you don't need to use it if you don't want to. I should say, obviously it's got the QR code on there to download it from the App Store. Next we have the M5 drone manual. It comes in Spanish and English. It's a fold out piece of paper and it looks to be quite informative and complete. Here is a call out for all the different functions of the buttons which is on the transmitter, and I'll go through some of them with you shortly. Like a DJI, the gimbal sticks are housed in the rear of the transmitter, I should say, and pull out, and you push them in, you don't screw them in. Just ensure that you do push them in quite firmly, otherwise they will tend to come out. You have your usual bag of spares. This time you have a full set of propellers and a USB to USB-C charging cable, which will charge not only your batteries but also your transmitter as well. Place it in here, this little red light will come on, and when it's fully charged the light will go out. Likewise, when you're charging the transmitter, you connect it here, this light will come on to say it's charging, and when it's fully charged it will go out. You also have a set of propeller guards which you can clip on underneath. They don't go on top, they go underneath if you want to choose to use those. They are made of thin, flimsy plastic, so they should be relatively durable, I would have thought. Now I've got 2 batteries for this. Unfortunately it doesn't tell me what the mAh of the battery is. Looking at the size of it, I would guess at least 1800 milliamp, possibly more, but it will be a 1 cell, which is 3.7 volts, and that will be 4.2 volts fully charged. And the batteries slide into here. When you've reached this point here, you push this tab down and it should click into place. Underneath here we have a optical flow sensor. That's not a camera. There's no obstacle avoidance on this drone. This is the power button and this will light up. It's been switched on. Onto the transmitter. This unique selling point is that if you press this button, the screen will pop up. Now what we'll do, I think we'll turn the drone on. We can't go flying at the moment, unfortunately it's way too windy. As soon as we do get a decent flying day, we'll take it out for a test flight. So we turn on drone first, and you can see the light there, that will come on. We'll turn on the transmitter, and you see we greet you with a welcome screen which is quite a common one. We've seen that on many other drones, and we already have a view. So there's no functionality at the moment because we need to bind the drone with the transmitter, and we do that by going up and down, and you see this light there stops flashing, telling us that the transmitter is now bound with the drone. So we can now use the functions, and as you can see, that one axis gimbal can now go up and down. This is your speed switch, or rate 1, rate 2, rate 3, and it will go back to rate 1 again. You can take a image by using this button here, and you can see that there's a camera icon that's just come up. And to take a video, as you can see now, it's recording, it's giving you a little timer there. Your SD memory card, and I wouldn't worry too much about the speed of your SD memory card, because I believe these files are AVI files, so they're not going to be highly critical on speed. Now, to calibrate your internal gyros, there are two ways of doing that. You can take your sticks down and out, and you can see the light was flashing there. You can also quickly press this button here, and you just calibrated the gyros again. Now, these buttons here, they should be relating to examining your files, which you should be able to access here, but unfortunately on my transmitter it doesn't appear to be the case. Either a long or a short press does not seem to produce anything, although this button here will turn the screen on and off via a long press. These buttons here, as you know, are to control the camera's movement up and down. Speed rate switch, this is a 360 degree flip button should you wish to choose to do so. But for the meantime, this is the M5 drone. As soon as we get a decent flying day, we'll take it out for a fly and see how she does. We're finally out at the field. This is the least windiest day that I've managed to pick since I reviewed the M5 drone in the workshop. It's still 15 miles an hour. It's coming from the north, which is way too higher wind speed for this little thing. This probably weighs no more than about 120 grams. So I'm just going to try and fly it by the trees where there's hopefully the wind is a little bit less, and hopefully we can see what it can do. But a test flight tells me that this will not handle a wind certainly above 15 miles an hour. It's running, the wind is running around about 15 miles an hour, gusting up to a 20, so way too much for this little drone. But I've got the video recording. Right, let's try and see what the height hold is going to be like. It's not going to be very good by the looks of it, given the strength of wind. Let's just put it into rate 3 if we can. Okay, that's rate 3, so we've got all the movement we can, front and back, right and left. So we'll try and keep it down to the ground as much as we can. It is, as you can probably see by the grass, and maybe hear it in the microphone, it is gusting quite badly here. But I've got it recording, and I'll upload some of the footage onto the final video. Okay, so it is making progress forward, not very fast. I think if the wind was a lot calmer, this drone would behave a lot better. Let's see if we can go through the window, shall we? I shouldn't think it would do very well. Well, it made it. I think that was a luck, not skill. Apparently there's a flip button here. Shall we give it a go? Shall we try it? Oh, does work. Let's try left hand side. Very strong wind, very strong wind. Yeah, it does struggle against oncoming wind. Right, the wind's backed off a little bit. I'm hoping to back it off enough to try the optical flow. And the optical flow does seem to be working, although the wind does carry it quite easily. So if you're going to fly this, I'd suggest you pick a day where the wind is likely to be less than 10 miles an hour. Maximum distance of, I would say, 100 meters. I am getting good Wi-Fi feed. I don't want to try the distance, the maximum distance of the Wi-Fi feed at the moment, due to the strength of the wind. If it was a lesser speed wind, then yes, I could try, but it is advertised around about 150 meters, I think, as a radio control distance. The Wi-Fi feed is going to be slightly less than that, although the advertised Wi-Fi and radio control distances I would take with a pinch of salt, especially on all these cheaper drones. But if you're in a position where you can't quite afford a DJI Avatar, this might be the one for you. Especially indoors, you're not going to do any damage with those propeller guards. And I know people do like close range shots, so you couldn't get much closer than that, could you? I like the brushless motors, nice and quiet. Responds well to yaw. So there's your left, there's your right, backwards, forwards. That is your low battery warning. If you can, I would say you're probably looking at a couple of minutes warning to bring it back and land it. If it does run out, it will just land where it is. It won't return home. Right, so that is the M5 drone. Pretty good looking drone, obviously modelled from or takes its inspiration from the DJI Avatar. So not a bad little drone. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Bye for now.